Who knew? Thank you so much. It's an honor to be inducted into the Sports Broadcast Hall of Fame, especially being selected by a group of men and women I respect so highly, and to join the greats of the sports broadcasting world in the Hall of Fame. It's very humbling. As we all know, the greatest teamwork we see each week is not on the playing fields, but our broadcast teams working together. After 30-plus years, I should thank hundreds, but time permits only thanking a few, and I start with my very good friends who direct and produce golf. Steve Milton, Lance Barrow, Doug Graber, Tom Roy, Tom Randolph, Bucky Gunts for golf and a few Olympics, Steve Bime, we're now coming full circle with golf there, and some great times covering IndyCar. Mark Payton, who was the director of the Fan Man coming in. For 30 minutes, we're watching this guy flying around. Mark says, "Get off from that. I don't want to see that crap. What are you doing?" So just nothing else to do. Well, how do you cover a fight from a blimp? So, I mean, the Family Channel blimp, by the way, covering a fight. And after the guy lands, Mark goes, "Did anybody have that on tape?" Turned out it was live. What is it? TKO does that live. And then HBO was doing a broadcast. The HBO guys had it. Oh, Fred and Drew for so many years on Mondays and Sunday Night Football. Mike Arnold, Artie Kempner for their continued support. The great Davey Finch is here tonight. The Bob Bromlicks and Tom Saharas of the business and all their assistants. The PGA Tour folks for all they do to help. The best in the business. And countless tech and production manners who go out of their way to make my work possible. And my very good friends, John Porter and Peter Larson, founders of Broadcast Sports. And a special thanks to my Wing Vision crews. We cover over 175 events a year, many multiple day shows. And it's only possible with a group of the best guys in the aerial business, starting with someone you see here on ABC in the mornings, John Del Giorno. His great work on Triple Crown horse racing, Jim Smith, who covers SEC football, Dan Rice doing a fabulous job on Fox NASCAR, Justin Yeager, Will Klobuchar, who do much of our West Coast work, and the great support from Kurt Lonicky, Brian Pedersen, and Mike Price. And two of my pilots who have been with me for so many years, Richard Crofton Slay and Joel Martin. Now, this is the tough part. I have no idea what to say about Ken Agard. Yes, I do. Most of us in this room have stories that we've been saving for his retirement roast. Problem is, he's never going to retire. So I thought maybe I'd share a few that I've been saving for that retirement that was never going to happen. We'll start with the Seoul Olympics. Yes, he does put me in harm's way. One would think that flying in a 1950s helicopter would be the highlight. It wasn't. It was being chased down the hallways by my shadow, who flew with me on most flights, a member of the Korean CIA. This is true. He was concerned that my videotapes might show the anti-aircraft guns mounted on top of the hotels and government buildings. So they were there. He wanted editorial control. Yeah, boy, did he. A meeting was called with Ken, NBC Legal, the KCIA guy, and me. It took a while to work things out, mostly because the KCIA agent and I were communicating by blinking our eyelids in Morse code. Now, that really isn't true. Agard thinks it might be true, though. And as long as he thinks there's that possibility, he doesn't mess with me. The Moscow Marathon, well, that's another one. The helicopter was newer. You saw a picture of it, but it was built in Poland. Learned what it was like to be a star with all the paparazzi. Turns out they were shooting for the news channel KGB. There I am flying over the Kremlin in Red Square. Ken wanted to have a party for everyone. Asked me to invite the Russian pilots and their wives or girlfriends. We think one brought both. Who knew the Russians could be so European about these things? After all, what could go wrong offering Russian pilots free vodka? Oh, boy. This is true, after being toasted as the first American to fly over Moscow, the Russian colonel sat down next to me and whispered in my ear, "You're the first one we will admit to." Agard was on the other side. It's true. As I was walking out the door, the Russian pilot stopped me and said, "Mr. Mikkelson, how do you like our country?" "It's beautiful. You know, we have much in common. Our fathers fought the Nazis together." I said, "Yes." I said, my father was an army officer in Europe, World War II. More vodka. It was free. But today, our government's not so good with each other. But the people, we could be good friends. Of course, yes to friendship, more vodka. But you know, we're all communists. Ooh. That's a comrade. No problem with me. I'm a Democrat. I don't know how long was it 30 plus years, Ken? Of all the people that we can think of, you are the last one I would expect to find in a room full of Russian commies selling your soul to make a buck. Now, you did. But today, that might qualify you to be appointed chairman of the FCC. Oh, we could keep going on. To be a comic the next 4 years, you know, I tell you. Why we are friends, especially after tonight, I don't know. But you answered a call from a stranger, and you gave him a chance. And all I can say, Ken, is thank you. I've been very fortunate over the past 30 years to have the support of two of the largest aerial providers, MetLife and Goodyear, and the help of countless blimp pilots and crew. It has been a great 29-year partnership with MetLife in golf, and I know we will all miss Snoopy flying over events this coming year as their program comes to an end. And Goodyear for their continued support as we cover events with our airplanes on their behalf, Olympics, World Cup, NASCAR, college football, and so many others. And a thanks to Dave Beasley and Emily Cropper, who have flown out from Akron and to be here tonight. Thank you. And of course, Mickey Whitman, who created the business model for aerial sponsorships. When you travel as much as many of us do, you realize that at some level it's very selfish. And the families pay the price. I have 3 wonderful kids I'm so proud of, Julia, Eddie, and Jane. Each and every day I realize how lucky I am. And I'm also certain the reason they have turned out so well is because I do travel so much. And the love of my life, my business and life partner, Lisa, has done such a great job raising them. I know it's not always easy. So to my family, thank you for being so understanding, and I love you more than you'll ever know. It has been almost 34 years since I became one of those Washington guys that became unemployed at 12 noon on a January 20th. And it's been quite a journey to get here tonight. Most weeks, the most high-tech and expensive piece of gear on a show is the aerial camera. And yet it is attached to a flying machine that's basically unchanged from before the days of the Wright brothers. There is a bit of romance to all of this. I get to fly down Broadway. I hover in front of the statue, fly over cities coast to coast and around the world. I get to share with all of you the incomparable beauty of a Pebble Beach and view the Golden Gate Bridge backlit with the setting sun over the Pacific. How lucky am I? So I'd like to thank all of you for giving me the opportunity to have an unexpected but unique and fascinating career, one I hope lasts for years to come. And I hope that each and every one of you, at some point in your lives, can have an evening like I'm having tonight. It's wonderful. Thank you very much.